All right, guys. So I want to talk about the two key ingredients for success. And this is success straight across the board. This is not even necessarily strictly pertaining to fitness. It's not a training tool or technique or piece of equipment. It's just a key aspect of success that you need. Two of them. And those key aspects, those two key aspects are leverage and balance. Leverage creates the movement, and the balance keeps it going. So in particular, I want to talk about here, I want to reference this towards motivation, right? What motivates a person to do something? Motivation does not create movement. It doesn't create action, right? Leverage does. Motivation is a byproduct of leverage, right? See, movement doesn't create movement. Leverage creates movement. It's very important to understand that because most people do not understand what motivation actually is. Motivation is not a thing that you can just create out of thin air. It comes from leverage. For example, you go to your doctor says, look, you're in a serious situation here. From the tests I've done and what I've just found, if you don't start working out, if you don't start exercising today, you're going to have your first heart attack within the next 2 days to a week. Guaranteed. You want to live. You don't want to have a heart attack. You don't want that to happen to you. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to find a way to exercise today. I don't care how busy your day is. I don't care how tough your work schedule is. You'll make it happen. That excuse of I don't have the time goes right out the window. See, because the risk, the danger of that heart attack, that's leverage. And that leverage motivates you to make it happen. It's an extreme example, but at least you get the point. Right? So, motivation, this is how motivation works. So maybe you felt a time where you were unmotivated, or you are currently motivated, right? You're really looking for ways to stay motivated or get motivated. Some people watch a motivational speaker, and the motivational speaker really says things that really speak to you with power, and they get you up. And you're motivated when in that moment. You're motivated to make it happen. And that motivation can last a day, a couple days, a week, right? Who knows? But eventually that motivation wears off because there wasn't the leverage. So then if that's the case, how does the motivational speaker motivate you? The motivational speaker can't give you motivation to do things you don't want to do, so how do they motivate you? A motivational speaker reminds you of the leverage. That's all they do. They just remind you. That's how that works. They remind you of what you need to be doing because of where you want to get out of and where you want to get to. That's how that works. So if you can remind yourself of the leverage that got you moving in the first place, you can be your own motivational speaker. You can motivate yourself whenever, because all you got to do is just remind yourself. It's that easy. Just a reminder. When we lose sight of the leverage, it diminishes, and we get unmotivated. Typical examples of how this leverage works, right? And danger is a very good example. The lion versus the gazelle. The lion hunts, hungry, passionate, drive, right? Everybody wants to be the lion. The lion just doesn't do just enough to survive. The lion dominates, right? They keep hunting till everybody's fed. So the person who has the spirit of the lion, they're not just going to work just to make enough money to pay their bills. They want to dominate. They want to create an empire, a legacy. They want to build something that serves as a beacon and inspiration to anyone around them that sees what they're doing. You want to be above average, right? That's how you are when you're the lion. When you're the gazelle, you just want to escape danger. Ooh, these bills are due. I mean, if the bills ain't due, it's not an urgent thing, you won't work as hard. You don't want to build a legacy, you just want to be comfortable. The gazelle just wants to be comfortable. See the difference, right? So, if you want to be the lion, why do you want to be the lion? What leverage is there that's powerful enough for you to live like the lion? You got to pinpoint and identify your leverage and not forget your leverage. Because that's what's going to get you moving. So then number 2, balance. You're driven, you're passionate, hungry. You've been doing it a long time. Maybe a couple days, week, whatever, but you've been driven. Hot. Maybe even a month or 2. But then you start to slow down little by little. Then you get content, you get complacent, and then you start backsliding. Right? Because as long as you're alive, things are either moving backwards or forwards. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. That's how it works, right? We don't really maintain our current position because time is moving regardless of what you're doing. Whatever isn't growing is dying. That's a scary thought right there. You want to grow, which means you got to always be chasing growth. And that's tough, right? So, how do you balance that? See, balance implies constant. It implies a consistency in a specific pattern, right? That's what balance is. When you don't have balance, you get burnt out, you get unmotivated, you get undisciplined, you get sloppy. Right? Because you need a strategy, you need a plan in order to maintain the balance. In order to maintain the lifestyle, maintain the drive, to be constant with it. Right? Because people will say, yeah, I'm excellent, but excellence really is what you do. And you do it enough to the point where it becomes who you are. And if you can become the excellence that you do, if what you do and who you are, if that aligns into one, you've reached balance. So you need a plan, you need a strategy to keep up specific rituals, specific practices and habits, so that motivation doesn't just peak and crash. It's a thing all the time, it's regular. People ask me in the morning, how do you get up so early out of bed in the morning? How do you get up in the morning so early? You open your eyes, you put your feet on the ground, you stand up. And I say that and people think I'm trying to be funny. How do you eat? How do you eat so clean? How do you eat healthy? I stick whole foods in my mouth. And I chew it and I swallow it. I'm not being stupid. I'm not trying to be... I'm not trying to make a joke. That's how you do it, right? It's not a complicated thing of like, oh, you got to psych yourself out to eat healthy food. You've just been doing it so long, that's just what you do, right? You wake up every day at 6:30 in the morning. You go to bed every night at 9 o'clock. Guess what? You wake up pretty easily. Because you always do that. That's what a habit is, right? Success is a habit, right? Excellence is a habit. It's this thing you do all the time. It's muscle memory. But you need balance in order to maintain that. So number 1 is get the leverage to create the movement, and number 2 is get the balance to keep it going.